Hi, this is Kieran here from Flex Physiotherapy. I just wanted to do a short video today about plantar fasciopathy. Now, it's commonly termed plantar fasciitis, so that's probably what the term you've heard before. Essentially, it's pain on the sole of the foot. Okay? So, it tends to be pain associated around here, and it can spread down into the foot. Okay? Now, the plantar fascia is essentially a tendon. Now, what we know about tendon is that, or what we know about tendon pain is that it doesn't tend to be inflammatory, it tends to be more degenerative. Now, plantar fasciitis implies swelling. Okay, so our thinking around the causes of this condition have changed over the last few years. Now, as with any tendon pathology, the important thing is to try and increase the load going through the tendon, because what happens in plantar fasciopathy is that the plantar fascial tendon has lost its ability to withstand load. Okay? So what we used to do is we used to ice it and we used to splint it. The problem with icing it and splinting it in particular, is that that's not going to do anything to increase the loading capacity of that tendon. What we should be doing is trying to increase the load going through that tendon in a controlled way, which will help to increase the tensile loading capacity of that tendon, and then help that tendon to return to normal health again. Okay. So, as with any tendon pathology, if you've got a very acute, nasty tendon problem, first thing you need to do is to rest it. Okay? And that's entirely appropriate to rest it. Take the weight off it a bit for a few days. You could try an insert in your shoe just to try and take the pressure off it. Sometimes a little wedge under your heel as well can be helpful for a few days. But at some point, you're going to need to start to slowly increase the load going through the tendon. Okay? Sometimes a bit of local treatment can be helpful. Okay, so you can do this yourself. You know, you can get a bit of E45 or some massage oil or something, and just massage around the area that's uncomfortable. Sometimes that can be helpful. Sometimes creams or gels which have an anti-inflammatory effect, like Nurofen gel, sometimes that can be quite helpful. So a bit of manual therapy can sometimes be helpful. 5 or 10 minutes just rubbing around the area. But the key thing with this condition is that you need to slowly load it. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do that now. So what you need is a block or a low step and a towel. Okay, and you want to just roll the towel up into a small cylinder. Okay, and then just pop that on your step. Okay, and then your toes then. The idea of this is to just add a little bit of stretch through the plantar fascia. Okay? And then in order to load the plantar fascia a little bit more, you come up onto your tiptoes, and then you slowly lower down the edge of the step. Okay? And then up onto your tiptoes, and then slowly lower down. Okay? You want to be aiming for somewhere in the region of 3 lots of 8 to 12 repetitions, something like that. And you want to repeat this every couple of days. So 3 or 4 times a week, something like that. Now this should be quite challenging for you. If this is easy, okay, then what you might want to do is you might want to switch to just one foot. Okay? Exactly the same thing. Lowering down over the edge of the step, but just with one foot this time. Okay? And obviously if you were doing 3 lots of 12 with 2 feet, you might want to drop it down to 3 lots of 8 with 1. Okay? Now, when that's really easy for you, the next thing you can do is you can get a backpack. Stick a backpack on your back. You can put some heavy books in it, maybe some bottles of water, something like that. And you want to slowly increase the amount of stress that's going through that tendon. Okay? If it's sore for whilst you're doing the exercise, that's fine. If it's sore after you've been doing the exercise for an hour or 2, that's also fine. If you're finding that it's cumulatively getting more and more sore, then that's not fine. It means that you're perhaps overcooking it a little bit, and you're doing a little bit too much, more than the tendon is capable of at that particular time. In which case, you might want to drop down the number of repetitions that you're doing, or you might want to spread out your sessions a little bit. And then, as I say, you want to slowly build it up. If you get pain when you're walking or running, as it starts to feel a little bit better with these exercises, then you might want to slowly increase the amount of walking or running that you do. In terms of increase, you want to be aiming for around about a 10% increase per week. Okay, it's a slow process. It's probably going to take 3 or 4 months to get over this, but the take-home message is that you need to slowly load the plantar fascia. So I hope that's been helpful. Once again, this is Kieran here from Flex Physiotherapy, and hopefully see you again soon.